Morning everyone, sorry we're so late. The reason we're late is simply because my back is broken. It's absolutely killing me. I was in the warehouse yesterday from 6:30 in the morning till 7:30 doing a complete change around, and I just couldn't, I can't bend. So I've got the two girls with me today, Laura and Maria, who were working alongside me yesterday, not as long as I was, but they did volunteer to do so. But anyhow, there's no John today, okay? He's had to go off to Liverpool, and so it's going to be Maria who's going to be, it's going to be Laura who's going to be doing all the camera shots. She has got the Facebook Live feed going as well, so she's going to start shouting out the hellos shortly, and she'll try and respond to some messages, but I think we'll respond later, if I'm really honest. So, and then we've got Maria as usual on camera, who's run around. Sorry for the late post about today, but to be fair, from 9 o'clock this morning, these girls have worked like fools because I can't bend down and I can't lift anything, and well, I'm loosening up slightly, but basically they've had to sort of run around, and then we just remembered that we hadn't told you we were going live. So we're here, anyhow. So Laura, let's start shouting out who's here with us.
Lindsay McIver.
Hi Lindsay.
Julianne Barrett.
Hi Julie.
Rob Allen.
Rob.
Palvey.
Palvey.
Julie Crompton.
Good.
Paula Flynn. Lindsay Royal. Lots of highs and hellos and good mornings.
Hope it's nice and dry where you are. The weather's not too bad actually here in Stockport.
That's it so far?
That's it so
Quite
far.
a few followers and a lot of people tuning in, just not saying hello yet.
Right. So you guys who are just tuning in now, there's some newbies and you may well be shy. If you're shy, just shout your name out and where you are. Join our little community. We've got lots of regular followers that follow us. Anything you miss or need to ask, we ourselves may not answer the question in the live feed. We will come back to you later, but the community people here will certainly help you, okay? So if you are coming in late as well, we can't tell you the whole thing that's been going on for half an hour or an hour, but we will be able to tell you what's just happened and maybe repeat some of the recipes. So what are we going to do today? Well, I realised that we'd gone over 2 hours on Monday, and I could see John's face going into a meltdown because it was 2 hours 10, and I probably didn't finish this cake. So it's been in the fridge, okay, and I just thought, you know what, we'll finish this. But before we finish this, I'm going to make a simple chocolate cake, because this was a simple Victoria sponge. And a lot of you have asked me how to make a simple chocolate cake. Now, I know I made chocolate cupcakes the other week and it's exactly the same recipe, but I sometimes wonder that people just don't get that. And I don't want to be rude. I don't think they realise they can use the cupcake recipe for a sponge cake. It's exactly the same. So what we're going to do is, to make it easy for everyone, okay, we are going to put our margarine, sorry.
Carol, before I start,
Go on then.
can you show about the
yes.
marshmallows?
Let me just say, Laura was here last Thursday making marshmallows, and one of the questions that was asked was, can you freeze the marshmallow? And we went with no idea. So Maria and I put a slice in the freezer, and I will get that out. We're going to leave it to defrost. And while I'm in here, so we just put in a slice of the marshmallow in the freezer, and I've got to be honest, as soon as I took it out the freezer, I can feel that it's soft, so it never frozen rock hard. So what we'll do is we'll just leave it on top of the cooling rack for the moment. I don't want to put it on a flat surface because I don't want moisture to get onto it, so I'll just leave it on there fat. Should I take it out the cling film or defrosting cling film, Laura? What would you do?
Out.
Out the cling film?
Yes.
Right, okay then.
Only because the Queen of Hearts said it might get sweaty. Do you remember when they said they froze their cakes and have that pot? I don't know if it's the same for marshmallows.
Well, anyhow, we froze the raspberry ripple. What I can see is, which camera can we go on? Can we go on this one?
Yeah.
Right, okay. So what I can, is this the one above or the one on this one here? This one, brilliant. Okay, so what I can see is that it hasn't made anything difference to the jam. Now this was the jam that Laura put in it, but you can see it's bendy. It is cold and it is frozen. I probably wouldn't like a slice now, but let's see what it's like in half an hour. I'll go back to it. So I'll pop it on the cooling rack. Okay, while I was in there, do you remember we made pink sponges the other week? Well, when I made this sponge on Monday, there's questions in the feed asking, can you add colour? And obviously the people had missed that one. So yes, of course you can add colour. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these on the cooling rack as well, because I'll use these sponges over the weekend to make something. So I will give these to Laura to undo while she's behind the computer there. And if you take all that off, we'll put those there. And I'm going to move this cake out of the way. I'm going to come back to this. In fact, I'll leave it there for the moment.
I can put it there, over there.
It's okay, I'll leave it there, it's okay. So, anyhow, we're going to make the chocolate cake. And we are going to use 8 ounces of margarine. Now, I don't know which country you're in. In the UK here, I use stork. And a lot of people in other countries said that they don't get stork in their country, but you will get a margarine or a baking butter, I think you call it. I know when I went to Australia, I really struggled to get a margarine, and I had to use, I think it was called a baking butter. Now, I don't know what the difference with that is, but that was the only thing I could actually find. So you'll have to find something in your country for that. So we're going to add the 8 ounces of margarine to the mixer. Now, Laura's new on the camera, so she might not know all the shots yet, so bear with us. If you can't see something, she is keeping an eye on the feed, just tell her. We're going to add 8 ounces of caster sugar, and there's also another question there in sugar. What sugar can you use? You can use icing sugar, as I showed you making the flavoured cakes. Anybody made any flavoured cakes since Monday? And you can also use granulated sugar, it really doesn't matter. I always use caster sugar, but we'll probably get the odd professional going, oh no you can't, you can only use caster sugar, okay? But you can use icing sugar, flavoured icing sugar, and granulated. So what we're going to do is we're going to give these a really good mix. I think when you use caster sugar and icing sugar, it breaks down a lot quicker when you're mixing. The granulated is a bit thicker, but sugar is sugar at the end of the day, so it shouldn't really make much difference. And you know, if you're on a budget, or that's all you've got in, don't think you can't make a cake. So, Laura has cooked the cakes I made the other day, last week, wasn't it, when I made these. Taking these out of the freezer now, all the wrapping off, and we're just going to leave those on the cooling tray. And I'm going to slice them just so you can see that lovely colour pink that we put in them. So I'm always going on about having a clean dishcloth, okay? Now, got these, I sell these on the website. They're 50p each, I think they are. They're 55p each, okay? So we sell these on the website. Treat yourself to them. These are the micro cloths, and they're really very, very good. If you don't even want a cloth for your utensils, use these dried to clean your windows with. Whenever you want to clean your windows, don't use a wet cloth, use these just to polish up the windows. They come up lovely. And the reason I say use a clean cloth, because you don't want to be using your dishcloth to be wiping around and wiping your hands on and everything to do with your cake and stuff. And these are nice and bright, so you definitely know that these are your baking dishcloth, yeah? So we've got that in there. We're just going to turn it up. I hope you can hear me well enough. Can you hear me well enough? I know somebody said, can you get a microphone when you've got the mixers on? If I've got a microphone on, all that's going to happen is I'm going to be near the mixer and you're going to hear that louder. All it's going to do is just make everything louder and louder. So unfortunately, when you are baking, I'm not in a studio where I can throw it all in for you and then bring it out without mixing it. So we're going to give this a lovely beat. And you beat this till it's really light and fluffy. And you do this with a simple Victoria sponge. Now remember, this is not a Madeira cake. This is a light Victoria sponge mix, okay? Always use a good premium flour, yeah? Now I use McDougall's. There's 2 types of McDougall's. There's this one. Just tell me on the packet, as somebody said on Monday, thank you very much, you don't need to sieve. Normally I would always sieve flour, but ever since I've been using this, and I've used this for the last 3 years, I've never needed to sieve it. But I didn't know it actually wasn't on the packet. I just thought, oh, I must be buying good packets of flour. If you buy the Supreme one of this, the sponge one, it makes beautiful cakes as well. And the cakes are actually lighter. These cakes will be a bit yellower with this flour. Whereas the Supreme one, it must have a whitening agent in, I think. Okay, in your own country, if you're in a different country, I don't know what to recommend. But I'm sure if you ask on your local forum, there'll be plenty of people telling you what to do.
How Carol. Christina Ludlam's watching from
Is she?
the
Tenerife?
poolside in sunny Tenerife.
I know, I am so jealous of
She
Christina.
says she's laughing at the thought of you with a microphone.
I know, could you imagine? And I don't blame you, Christina, because I've got a big enough gob as it is. And anybody who knows me well knows that I am not shy in saying what I've got to say. So, Christina, you get back to your pool, love, because you're a professional. Don't want you commenting on my Victoria sponge now. So, I know, I'm so jealous. I so need a holiday. So, you can see that, Maria, can't you?
Yes.
So, let me show this to the audience now. Just going to go to this camera here. So, you can see how lovely, light and fluffy. So, that yellow in the margarine colour. So, let me just show you how the yellow is. We'll put the two side by side, just so that you know. 1 second. So you can see how yellow, can you see the difference on there, Laura?
Yeah.
So you can see how yellow now the margarine is. Now you've added the sugar and you've really beat it up. That's taken the yellow away from it. Now that's great when you're doing a white sponge. We're going to ruin it all because we're making a chocolate one, so there was no need really. But you still got to mix this. This is the only time you can beat the living daylights out of it. Okay, now then we're going to add 4 eggs, and I think I confused everybody on Monday. You know, I am an old girl. Which camera are we on? We're here. I am an old girl. I'm 55. I'm knackered. My back's broken. Asthmatic, wheezing, everything else that's going wrong. And I've seen my face. It's on fire. So it's on fire. I'm absolutely boiling. Let's move this out of the way. So I'm just going to crack 4 eggs into a bowl. 1 second. And it's important that you add your eggs 1 at a time. So I use free range eggs. And Laura is very kindly opening the door for me, which is great. Probably be a good idea, Laura, if I turn the heating off. See that button up the side here? The one nearest to the right.
Which one?
Yeah, just press it once. And that's the heating off. It's probably not going to do any good having the heating on, me on fire, the oven on, and it's actually sunshine in here in sunny Stockport today. Can you believe it? So let's get the beat back on. You always need this cloth for your fingers and your hands. Okay, it's always good to have a couple. So let me just put it back round there again, Laura. I think we're going to have to get Laura. Do you know what? I think we should use put that on a turntable and turn it around. Can you do it on there? Yeah. So we're just going to put this on now, and we're going to beat your eggs. Is Christina still with us watching?
Yeah.
I hope she's got headphones on and they're not all listening around the pool.
She did say she loves you just as you are.
So, I just hope the whole pool's not listening to my God going on with itself. So eggs, 1 at a time. You know what, there's an all-in-one mix for a Victoria sponge. I'm not telling anybody how to make a Victoria sponge, and everybody needs to know that. I am a hobby baker, but people do ask me questions, and I can only answer truthfully, and I can only answer on how I personally make. If it's not the way you make it and you're very happy with your cake, crack on. You're not making it wrong, you're making it how you make it. But because I come on and I do a live session, and there's newbies and there's people out there that I want to encourage to bake, it would be a good idea if I put these eggs in while I was talking. And I want to encourage people to bake. Sometimes they just don't know where to start. And the nicest thing is I get so many emails. And when I say I get so many emails, I must get 3, 4, 5 a day of emails thanking me for doing a Facebook Live and encouraging people to bake. And that's not just newbie people baking, it's people who used to bake years ago who have sat there and thought, you know what, she's made it look easy again, I forgot. That's how simple it was. I'm going to start baking again. And we get loads of those emails all the time. And if you're one of those people watching, you know what? Mention it that you're one of those people that emailed me. Don't be shy. And because they genuinely do. So that's the eggs. So you beat the eggs until it's fully incorporated. Any more questions? I'm just jumping over it.
And there's just lots of people saying that they're enjoying it. Good morning.
Good morning, right, okay. So glad for joining us. So all the newbies, all the regulars know what I'm going on about. You know, I'm just a hobby baker, I'm not a professional. I always say to those professionals, close your eyes. You know, if it's not perfect or not how you do it, fair enough, but you're a professional and you'll have your way. We're doing it the simple, easy way so that everybody can do it. So I've incorporated the eggs now. I'm just going to give them a quick beat. And and I'll just quickly come over to that camera and show you what it looks like. Now, at this stage, you do need to be quick and start getting your flour in, because if you don't get your flour in, the egg starts to, Maria? The egg will start to curdle, okay? Now, you'll see there's just, because I'm leaving it there, and all it is, the egg will start breaking up. Now, no, you have not ruined your mix. Can you see that going up? You've not ruined your mix, okay? Mary Berry is not going to come crashing through your front door, screaming her head off, telling you that your mix is a mess, okay? What we're going to do is, we're going to start adding the flour. And I forgot to get a spoon. In that drawer, Laura. Thank you. I know, don't worry. So what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of the curdle, okay? So we're just going to put a tablespoonful in and another one in. And I'm just going to put that on very slow for a second, okay? Now, I'm using an 8 ounce mix, and I need to go back to this in a minute, okay? I'm just going to get rid of the curdle. So because I'm making a chocolate cake, everything is 8 ounces. 8 ounces of margarine, 8 ounces of caster sugar, 4 eggs, okay? And it would, for a white sponge, be 8 ounces of self-raising flour. Because I'm making a chocolate sponge, it's 6 ounces of self-raising flour, which is 3/4 of the flour, and 2 ounces of cocoa powder. So I'm just going to leave that there, okay? I have to go back to that in a minute. It's taking the curdle away. What I wanted to do is, why I weigh the cocoa powder, because I wanted to show you what we're using today, is just get that flour in now just to stop the curdle. So I just need another bowl and the scales. Here's the scales. That's a dirty bowl. Right. That's the one I cracked my eggs in. Which camera are we on? Oh, can you see me there?
I'll leave you.
Right, okay then. So, and we're going to use chocolate orange. We're going to make a chocolate orange cake today. So I think the last chocolate cake I made was a chocolate cherry and chocolate lime. So did we make chocolate lime cupcakes, and chocolate cherry brownies, didn't we? So on the back of this is sugar and crumbs flavoured icing sugar. You can get this in the UK from our website, sugarandcrumbs.co.uk. Laura will keep popping up every now and again, not too often, every now and again, our website page. On the back of here is the recipe to make a simple buttercream with cocoa powder. Make sure you read it. It's completely different than using icing sugar. It also gives you the recipe on how to make chocolate brownies, and I'm going to use 2 ounces of the chocolate orange now. And when you open the bag, you can smell the orange, okay? And I always use ounces. The only time I use grams is when I come to use the icing sugar, and that's because that's what we weighed it in. For modernisation, for packaging, everybody wants it in grams. But for myself, when I'm giving you a recipe, unfortunately, I have to tell you in ounces, because as I said to you before, I'm an old girl. So all you can do is to convert them. You can either message me and I'll tell you, but it's really simple. Go onto Google and just write in there 2 ounces to grams, and it'll tell you.
Well, the recipe is in both.
Oh, Maria's put the recipe up today. See, she's a youngster, she's put the grams on as well. Good girl, Maria. So in the cocoa powders, there's 5 flavours: chocolate orange, chocolate cherry, which makes a fantastic Black Forest cake, chocolate lime. Do you remember those lime sweets that we had years ago? And they were like lime green on the outside, a nice chocolatey flavour. That's what the chocolate lime tastes like. The chocolate coconut tastes like a Bounty bar, and we've got the chocolate chili, which is my all-time favourite. It's absolutely amazing, especially for the brownies. So I'm going to pop the flour in now and the cocoa powder into our mix. And I'll come back and show you this. So have we had more people joining us, Laura? How's it going?
Yeah, lots more people. So Wendy Ann Preston's here, Pam Rogerson, Geraldine Kisby.
Hi, all you ladies.
I think we dance.
I think we've got
lots of people.
I think we've got Louisa Johnson here from Australia as well, tuning in. She said she'd be here. Any more Australians here? Okay, we're going to use nifty nozzles as well today, just a few of them, because on Monday I said to you, I've got to finish a few things off from Monday, because on Monday I said to you, I'll use the ruffle nozzles in a deal that I've got going on, and I didn't put the leaves on the big cake there, so I thought, oh my God, could have killed John afterwards. But he thinks that 2 hours viewing time is enough, and you know what, I totally agree with him. The only problem is, because we make everything from scratch, you know, it does take up time. So, and then I'm just going to, so I forgot to tell you, because I'm talking. So I popped in the flour and the cocoa powder together. Now, I don't put this on the mixer anymore, okay? Now, some people do, and I was at my daughter's on Tuesday night with Laura, with Harrison, and Holly, and she was mixing hers, and she's happy to mix hers. I just never do. So again, it's your own personal choice. So fold in the flour and the cocoa powder, and I'm just going to go and get some water a moment. Sorry. Oh. You can hear some strange pains. It's my back. It's not my back, it's me groaning about my back. So I have taken some painkillers, and I think they are kicking in because I am moving a bit more. I'm not sure whether I should sit down or not today. So 2 tablespoons of cooled boiled water, okay? Now, some people use milk. Now that's good that. I forgot, of course you can use milk. Because some people said to me, you know, I've always used milk. Well, use milk. Remember what I'm saying to you guys. I'm not trying to convert you. All I'm doing is showing you my way of making things, and it works. So, you know, if you've got your own way and that works, then that's what you do. You just keep on with your own way. You know, there's no right or wrong about things. It's what you were taught and what you're happy to do. But the other thing is, we've got to remember you're not the only audience. There's new people here as well. And there's people here that have never made a cake. And they like the idea that, you know, people don't like reading books anymore now. We're all a nightmare, aren't we? We all like to look at the pretty pictures. Well, now people like to look at the video. So it's all about looking at the video and thinking, you know what, she put that together very easily. So you'll find that I'm lifting this mixture. And why do you lift it? Now, I might have the wrong answer here, because I say I'm no professional, but my understanding is so you don't beat the holes out of it, the air out of it, not the holes. So, 2 quality baking tins. This makes 2 sandwich tins, okay? I use a spray. Let me just get my spray. Now, I have to bring both sprays in, because one of them's got a dodgy cap. So I have to remember, and on my last one, I thought I must remember to save the little spray thing, threw the whole thing away. So I got my new one, and so my one that I was saving to take this top off, had to wait again until I got another new tin. Tins, buy yourself a quality tin, okay? It doesn't really matter, how expensive you go. These Paul Hollywood ones are really expensive. And for Alan Silverdale, I think, Alan Silverwood are pretty reasonable, yeah? And again, how you grease your tin is up to you. My grandma used to use the margarine, stalk margarine. And do you remember, you used to get the, in fact, I'll show it you. Where is the margarine?
Under the cake.
Oh, under the cake. There you are. Knew it'd be useful for something, that tub of margarine. So, and a lot of you remember this, especially if you're my age, your grandma would give you that bit out of the tub. You do that. Your grandma would give you that bit out of the tub, and your job is, she'd get the pleasure of making the cake while you watched her, and you had to get this. And in them days, they didn't even have cupcake cases. Do you remember? I sound ancient, don't I? I feel really young, as though I only left school yesterday. But when I talk to my grandkids, and they go, "You're really old, aren't you?" I go, Am I really old? But I must be, because in my day, I used to get this for my grandma, grease the tin, and then the cupcake tins, well, there were fairy cakes in them days, I had to grease them as well, because I don't know whether we couldn't afford cupcake cases, or there weren't cupcake cases out in them days. I don't know, maybe somebody can enlighten me. Go on, Laura, what did you do?
We had cupcake cases.
Did you have cupcake cases? Oh, posh you, aren't you? Come from Bramwell, don't you? I only lived in Stockport. That's it, Hazel Grove. Right, so we've greased that. You'll notice I put a piece of parchment underneath. You don't need to do that, okay? You don't need to do that. I just like doing it so that when the cake's baked and it's sat on something, just remember to peel it all off when you're stacking them together. No point cutting four cakes together and putting 4 cakes together, is there? And then you've got to cut through the paper. That's not very good. It's always good to weigh this if you can, but we're just going to do it by eye. So here we go. What camera are we on, Laura?
This one.
this one, that's great. So we're going to divide this between the two tins by eye. Now my oven is on, okay, and I only bake on a low oven, okay, and that keeps it flat topped. So when I show you those two ones before, I used to bake on a much higher oven before, and then my cakes were always doming, and then I had to cut them off, usually ate it, and I did start giving it to the birdies, but then I always thought, you know, it's such a waste, so now I bake on a low heat. So let's just do this. I'm just doing this by eye. We're going to get this in the oven, and let's get a little spatula there. So I'll use this one. So we're just going to smooth it out. So I don't know what camera Laura's on. So we're just going to smooth it out. There we go. I'm going to smooth this one out as well. Sorry, Maria. She's so good, Maria. It's a good job she's a skinny little whippet. She can fit in all corners, can't you? Now I do think there's probably a bit more in this one. So we're just going to take a nice big scoop out and push it into that one. Now, this is the best bit. And if John's not here and I'm so dying, which camera are we on? I'm so dying to put that in my mouth and lick it. Okay. I so want to lick this. So's Laura, but I'm on a diet. I'm not succeeding. I had a terrible day yesterday. I was in the warehouse. I blew all my diet. John and I had sausage rolls, pastries. Then we went for a curry last night for tea because we couldn't walk. We were just so tired. We got in the restaurant at 8:30 last night in our work gear. The guy in the Indian was laughing because John was blending yesterday and he was covered in white chocolate and raspberry. He thought he'd got it all off before we left work. And even the local Indian was like, "What are you two doing? You look exhausted." And there's John, greyer than ever, in white chocolate and raspberry. Smelled gorgeous. All the lads kept coming over to smell him, which was really funny. They did. You could smell him through the restaurant. There you go. I don't think he thought about it. John doesn't normally do the blending, but yesterday we had a mad panic because I decided to rip the warehouse apart because I want to encourage more customers to come in to walk into the warehouse for the shop bit, and we're always a bit disorganised. So I tried to organise it all yesterday. So what we're going to make next now then. So let me just finish this cake so I can get this out of the way. And I said we'll use the leaf nozzle, which I will find. And we're going to use the silver grey leaves. So where's that silver grey? So I put this, I just saved this, I just wrapped it 3 times. This is from Monday's live. Okay, I just wrapped it 3 times, the bowl with cling film. And all I'm going to do is, in the centre, put some pink, just to tone it in. Now I don't know whether cherry blossom, John was laughing, why have we done a cherry blossom cake? Cherry blossoms that don't all come out in the autumn. Well, I wasn't particularly thinking of anything seasonal. I just saw it and thought you guys might like to have a go at doing it. So if any of you going to have a go at this cherry blossom cake? Laura, responses?
Not yet.
No, not yet.
No one's brave enough.
No one's brave enough, of course you are. So let me get this pink out here a minute, and then I'll show you what it is that we're doing. Ooh, crikey. I think we're going to have really pink leaves now instead of silver ones, just a little bit too much came out there. So, I can't use that, that's the wrong way around. Got too much grey in there, sorry. Just have to do that again, hang on a moment. Can't use that one, we'll use that one for something else. Even I cock it up. There you go. I don't know when I should say that word, daytime. Can you say that word? Cock it up, daytime. Just drop the bag on the floor, can't bend down and get it. Back's broken, clean bag. Another one.
Wendy Ann Preston is going to make one next week for a birthday cake.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're good, you know, and I've been so good. Just pop them out of the fridge there, Maria. So good. It's so tempting to go into the fridge and just pick one out and eat one. So bad, isn't it? You know, the boys in our warehouse are always licking the buttercream samples. I don't know whether they need a sugar fix or something, but you know, when I go to the bin at the end of the day, there's usually about 5 or 6 buttercream sample pots. We're keeping my eye on them, lads. Got it too easy. So, let's just put some more grey in there. I think I just put a little bit too much red. I'll show you what I've done in a minute. And I don't particularly want to, I didn't particularly want it red leaves. I wanted it this silver grey. And it's quite nice to know that you can make this silver grey with the black, just a tiny bit of black. Because I always thought, how am I going to achieve the black? And of course, black would make grey, wasn't it? But I was thinking it was going to make some sort of like mucky, dirty type colour really. I've just put a tiny bit of red in the centre. I'm probably going to very, there. Got anybody red now? I'll get it out in a minute. Maybe I should do a session on doing leaves here, just 1 second. Yeah, okay, it's just coming out now. So I just thought that maybe we should just put a couple of leaves on, and those people who don't know how to do leaves, let me just think, because I know loads of you have problems with them. So, in fact, yeah, I've got a bun here. Let's do it on this bun. It's a lot easier. So. Did anybody notice what time we put those cakes in the oven?
40.
Right, okay, which camera are we on? All right.
Are we on this one? I can see
Right,
it.
so I need to do a close-up.
Okay.
Is it better up there?
Wait, yep, in the front.
In the front?
Perfect.
So leaves. So we're just going to do a small leaf, bigger leaf, and all you can do is going to squeeze it. Now, this is what you guys do. You squeeze it and you start pulling up. You squeeze it, you start pulling up, and you get these dangly things, or you go up like that, or you go like this, or you might fall a base, and you do that, okay? What you need to do is squeeze it, form the base first, and come up, pull off. When you come to pull off, you must stop in the middle and then pull off. So I'll do it again. Form a base, middle, pull off. Form a base, middle, pull off. So when I say middle, you've slightly come up. The bigger you want to go, form a bigger base, come up to the middle and off, yeah? And you can see that colour. Now if it's too much red, turn your nozzle around, and there we are. Right, there we go. Yeah. So, I think my son was about to come bursting through the kitchen door then. Yeah, so if you heard someone talking, that was my son. And I think he's just realised we were live. Did you see him then? Yeah. I heard him. So I'm just going to put a few leaves on here. Oh, there's the front door going. Look at that. That's the pleasure of going live. So I'm just going to put a few leaves on. I don't know what you can see. Are we on the top camera?
Main camera this
No,
one.
you need to be on the top
Okay.
one. Just so that you can see. So we're just going to just finish it off a little bit, really. And you can do them any colour you want. You don't have to have grey leaves, but I just thought, you know what, it just looks a little bit different. And then, while I show you, these have still survived in the kitchen. You're proud of me? I'm on my diet there, and they've still survived. I've not eaten them, so I'm going to use these and put them on cupcakes. Do remember, keep them in the fridge, because they're really cold in the fridge, okay? But when you want to come and use one, I'll have to do it that way, because I haven't got two hands. Just peel the parchment paper off, and there you go. If I leave these out now, they'll get really soft, yeah? And did you see that on there where I peeled that? Can you see it? If you leave them out, they'll get really soft and you won't be able to peel them off. So you must only take these out of the fridge when you actually want to peel them off. Anybody who doesn't know what we did, you'll have to go back to last Monday's episode. Yeah. So just going to put on a couple of leaves just to finish this off, because I just felt that we didn't quite finish it. Now I can't do nothing with the bottom, but you remember on the flamingo cake? On the flamingo cake we put hundreds and thousands on the bottom, okay? And I think this would have looked really nice. Laura, which camera are we on? I would have thought this would have looked really nice if I'd put, you know, if I'd sort of done a layer of the hundreds and thousands. And do you remember that mix that I put together? It's not in here, it's in the dining room. But just get a blend of your mixes, have a look at all your sprinkles, and if you'd used your light pinks in your whites and a couple of odd darker pinks and then patted them all around the side, I think it would just finish it off. So anyhow, so all I want to do is quickly just go over this cake again and just add a few leaves to it, show you how to do the leaves. And are we happy with that, guys?
Lots of likes.
Super, good, that's what we like. So just pop that over there, Maria. And then if you want to put those back in the fridge again. Who's licking the bowl, girls? Maria. She can afford to lick the bowl, can't she? Right, okay. So let me just put this here a moment. And then I made up some buttercream. So I've just put a bundle deal together as well of some nozzles. And on Monday night, we've got a lady called Holly Gregory coming on Monday. Now her speciality is drip cakes, and that's what she makes. I think she does it as a business. In fact, she'll kill me because she does do it as a business, but she makes amazing drip cakes. She's travelling from Plymouth on Monday. Now Plymouth from here is a 6 to 7 hour drive depending on traffic, and she is coming for the day, staying overnight, and she's going to make you an amazing cake on Monday. So do make sure you tune in for that at 8 o'clock. Let's go to the marshmallows. Oh, the marshmallows, they didn't take long. They're back to normal. So yes, those people who asked. So let's, have you got a plate in there, Maria? And a knife. Now I can't taste test because I'm on a diet, okay? And then we want a knife.
I can taste it.
But Maria's going to taste test, so we'll get her around here just to see if there's anything. Oh, we'll do a knife, yeah. Yeah, so come around here, Maria. So is Laura going to test?
A little one.
A little one for Maria. Go on, taste that one.
Okay.
Right, see if it makes any difference. So these went in the freezer last Thursday when Laura made them. Are they good?
Yes.
Right, so that's
Amazing.
good to know. Because it's great when you guys ask questions and we're honest enough to tell you if we don't know. So anybody who wants to make marshmallows, these are the homemade marshmallows. They're completely different from what you buy in the shop. And so many of you have made them already. Now, a few of you have gone to make them with the veggie gel from Dr. Oka and it hasn't worked. Laura has tried other veggie gels and it didn't work. She did think the Dr. Oka one would work, and she does sort of remember having a slight success with those and they were okay. But I've had 2 or 3 ladies on and said they've made it with the veggie gel and it doesn't work. So I don't know how to help you guys who are vegetarians about that, unfortunately. But the guys who want to make it, pre-make it and store it maybe for if you wanted to make Christmas presents, then at least now you know you can put them in the freezer. So we'll let Maria and Laura continue enjoying those, okay? So I have done a batch. We're going to do this bundle. So this bundle here is the 2 nozzles. So this is Tutu and Ruffles. And I've put these together as a bundle on the website for $5.99. Now these nozzles, which is basically means you're getting one free. Okay, this should be $5.99 anyhow. I brought them down in price only last week and putting them together. These are the genuine nifty nozzles, and I'm going to show you what they look like because they're great. So, and you get 2 together, and I'm almost sure if you buy the 2 together, I think it's this set, you get a free wooden spoon as well, a Tala wooden spoon as well. So I'm sure it's that set, but it doesn't say on there. I'll have to check with the warehouse later. Right, buttercream, here we go. So I've already pre-made my buttercream. Come on, Laura, what was you going to say? Oh, you're waiting for me for this, are you? Good girl. There you go. Hey, they're on it, these girls. They really are. I tell you, they're ahead of the game. So what we'll do is, in the Ruffles now, We'll put a pink on the outside. We'll two-tone this. Yeah. Now, some of you may have said that on Monday I showed you how to make the Queen of Hearts couture cakes, buttercream, but I didn't use it. I did only show you how to make it, simply because people wanted to know how to make it. I've actually never used it at all, so I've never used it at all, so I can't comment yet on how well it works for the nifty nozzles. I am using it here, okay, just on the outside, but it's very, very soft. But I have a feeling that's because I've had it out overnight. So I think, you know what, but I know if I put it with my own buttercream here, so normally I would use my own buttercream recipe, but I will talk to you about why this is this red colour in a minute. So let's get this one out of the way. And this is Ruffles. So let me just squeeze it in there. And then we're going to put a little bit on the cake. I'm just going to put a little bit of buttercream on the cake. Love this palette knife. This is a mini palette knife. It's on our website as well. And I wouldn't use it normally for crumb coating the top of my cake. Personally, I'd use a big one, so I'm not suggesting that. It's just that I haven't got another spatula. I've used all the ones I brought in. But I would use it for lifting up the flowers and moving them if I need to. So this one is the Ruffles, okay? So Laura, Laura, not the top one, this one. Where do I need to be? Am I there, okay?
Yeah.
So we're just going to sit this in the centre of the cake. We're going to squeeze, 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 squeeze. Stop squeezing and lift off. And you see that I just give it a little twist. So for you guys, let's just show you again. Okay. Now, the buttercream is very soft, okay, because I've got the Queen of Couture buttercream on there, but it has been out overnight, so it is very, very soft. And I've got my own buttercream in the middle. So just let me do it again. So you can see this nice ruffle effect there. It's got like a serrated edge. So you're just going to sit it. Is that close enough, Laura?
Yeah, come down a little bit.
You can extend in, you know, with your fingers. You can widen it as well if you need to. So Laura's new on the camera, so she's just getting used to it. So we're just going to sit it on the cake. We're going to start to squeeze. As we squeeze, you don't need to lift it. You don't need to lift it high, okay? As you come up with the buttercream, as the ruffles come, that's you slowly coming up. So you can't see my hand coming up there, okay? You stop at the desired height, so I'm going to stop there. Now, you can lift it off, but I prefer to just quickly give it a squeeze so you get that look. Yeah? So what I am going to do is I'm going to show you what you guys do with this nozzle, because you do it as a mistake. But this is what you guys do. So Maria doesn't need to film this bit. But what happens is, when you get Mrs. Whippy, Rose Twist, Viennetta, Ruffles, or Tutu, this is what you do. You do this. And you do this pumping action, okay? And that's wrong. So if you want to lift it up and down, that is wrong, okay? Am I in camera there to see that? I can't do that again. We'll do it with the tutu after. You have to allow the ruffles to form, and as each layer forms, you slightly come up then, yeah? So I'm just going to put this back into the buttercream. So you can see those nice ruffles. Can you see that nice detailed effect? So this one is called Ruffles, and it's going in a set with Tutu for $5.99. So let's just tell you that one. And then I'm going to get the Tutu nozzle. The Queen of Hearts buttercream is really soft. Now it wasn't like that on Monday, admittedly, when I made it. So I think I've just left it out just a little bit too long. So I'm just going to do this the alternative way round. So lots of you have seen me do this two-tone. So all I've done is, which camera are we on, Laura? All I've done now is I put the white in. Yeah, put the white in. I've opened it up, and I'm just going to put a bit of this red in. Now normally I'd put my own red in. It's a bit too soft really. Sorry Laura, Maria, you've done this one loads of times.
Yes.
Yeah. Just trying to get in and do that. We've done this two-toning loads of times, but I know she wants to do a little video on this set, don't you? Sorry, Maria. Right, I've got no buns left. So wait a minute. Let's do this. So let's just do this with a red base. So this one is the 2-2 nozzle, and the 2 nozzles are $5.99 instead of $5.99 for one. But having said that, I've reduced them anyhow as well. So here we go. Oh, we've got a blockage. Wait a minute. Right, so I just haven't cut my bag enough to let it all come out. So I noticed that. So that's the other thing. It's good that it did that actually, getting clean cloth. So it's good that I noticed that. On here, you must cut your bag. Let's see. So when I tell you, not Laura on this one. So when I tell you to cut your bag on all the other nozzles right at the tip, here you need to cut your bag so that you are past. So I'm just going to have to push this one out so that you are past these little slits. Yeah. So they all need to be clear of the bag, otherwise you're not going to get the full effect. So just make sure that you do that. Oh gosh, my poor bag. Right, I'm just going to slip that up there. That wasn't good. Oh. Which camera will? Right, so we're back on here. So again, you sit this on here. We're going to squeeze. Just like an ice cream, squeeze. I'm going to stop and we're going to come off. And you see that this one here has got bigger gaps in between. Yeah? Sorry, Maria.
Yes.
Yeah? And I'm shaking now. So I don't know if I've got another bun. Oh, yes we have. Yeah. Maria's just letting you know I dropped this one on the floor, but as we're not going to eat it because I'm not into eating foam buns just yet.
Not yet.
Mind you, I don't know if I put weight on it eating a foam bun. Probably won't do my stomach any good, will it? Expanding. So I'll just do that again. Are we close enough? Yeah. So we're just going to sit there and we're going to squeeze, 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 squeeze. Each layer come up. Stop squeezing at the desired height, and we're just going to pull off. So do you like that, guys? So that is 2-2 and ruffles, and you buy the two together as a set. You can buy them separately if you want to. Laura, can I just move that there? Right, so I'm just going to take these off, and then we are going to get on with our Victoria sponge, which I never finished on Monday. So I did start putting a Victoria sponge that I pre-made together for you, but I just want to decorate this one up so that you can turn it from a Victoria sponge into a Valentine's Day cake. So let me get rid of all that. Stop eating the marshmallows, Maria. Now she's sneakily over there having a scoff. Let me get rid of all those. Let me get rid of those. Right. So pass me that red board then, please. I do recycle my boards, okay? Nothing wrong giving a bit of recycling. Would I give it to a customer? No, not at all. So I never use recycle board for customers, but if they're here, then of course I'll recycle them here for, you know, for either on the lives or if I'm making a cake for some photos or something. So what I did with this was, it's been in the freezer, took it out earlier. I didn't put, I'm unwrapping it in front of you so that you can see that I didn't just stick all the sponges together, okay? You'll see that I went round it several times and then I did a layer between each sponge, just so you know. When you are going to put them in the freezer, make sure that you cling fill them all the way round, and don't just keep going round in the same way, change your direction as well. Yeah. So you can see I've used a mountain of cling film here. So cake number 1 is revealed, and then I've got to go round again. cling film on here. There's cake number 2. Don't stick them together. Make sure the cling film is definitely separate. Cake number 3. But I just knew I wanted to use all these layers together. So, cake number 4. And there they are, they're all ready to go. Let's get that one in the bin. Right, okay, now this is what I said. I've got parchment paper, yeah? Don't go and stick that one on now. It's going to be tricky when you come to cut it later. Believe me, plenty of you have done it, and I've done it too. And Laura's done it, she's just nodding there. Right, Laura, can I have a clean spatula, please?
A big one. No.
Sorry, not a spatula, a palette knife. I don't know where they all are. There's one there, but I had a load of pink ones when we came in. It's not big enough. So, yeah. Sorry, don't know which camera I'm on, sorry. So what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to put a little bit of butter on here, just to stabilise it. Stick it to it. So this is just going to make a basic Victoria sponge, okay, and then we're going to jazz it up for Valentine's Day. Thanks, Laura. So we are going to put jam in. Now I am using Co-op's own, in fairness, because if any of you are listening on Monday, we ran out of jam and I had to send one of the girls to the shop quickly, and it was only the local Co-op that they could get to fairly rapidly. Nothing wrong with Co-op jam at all, albeit I do tend to use a more premium brand, but I must say, it smells nice. So we're going to use this one, and then don't forget, second one off. So Laura, sometimes you can go to the other cameras, are you aware of that? These cameras, that one? Are you around them all, are you? Hey, she's getting good at this, isn't she? The only thing is I don't know which camera we're on anymore. So then I'm going to put some buttercream on here, this one. So I'm just going to put some buttercream on this one. Now if you wanted to, what you could do is, if you wanted to get really fancy, and just check I've got enough buttercream in here. Just got a white blob in there. If you wanted to, you could get your nozzle in fact, just boo-booed, I think. Basically, a Victoria sponge is just jam, a plain Victoria sponge. I just want to do my layers differently. So, yeah, you know what I'll do, I'll keep it like that. Okay, so what you could do then, you could get your Viennetta. This is your mini Viennetta, just to give it that nice effect. A bit soft, this buttercream. We could give it this nice effect here. And we take our next sponge off. Put that one on. Cloth. See, my cloth is getting really mucky now. So this is why I say you don't be using the dishcloth, have your own cloths. So we'll move on to my second clean cloth, because I'm making a proper mess in this kitchen today. So we're going to put jam on here. It's up to you how much jam you want to put on it. You can put loads of jam or a little jam. Some people like to put jam and buttercream. You know, like I say to you, it's entirely up to you. We'll put that jam block there. It's entirely up to you what you want to do. Everybody has their own way. I'm not going to push it too much over the sides because it'll push, when we put the layers on, it'll push out to the sides itself. So I'm just going to straighten it up a bit. Remember to straighten it up. And then we've got the last layer. Now because I want this to be a Victoria sponge, I'm actually going to do it so it's just got the slight dome on it. If I wanted it to be a flat cake, I would turn it over and have the base on the top so it's nice and flat. But I actually want that dome effect on the top, okay? This smells gorgeous, and if you remember, we made this on Monday with strawberry milkshake flavoured icing sugar, and that's exactly what it smells like in the kitchen, doesn't it? Strawberry milkshake. So I don't know whether Laura can sniff it that far over there.
Yeah.
But now, can you smell it over there? Yeah. Good. How long's my cake's been in the oven?
It's almost
Almost 30 minutes.
30 minutes. Just a minute, guys. I think Laura might just turn around. Let's just go in and have a test of this. Okay. Yeah, they're done. Oh, they're lovely and flat, these. Great. So let me just move these out of the way. Let's just get them in place so I can just show you these, what they look like in a minute. So I'll just move this and I'll come back to you in a moment. And Maria's ahead of the game. Good. I tell you, these assistants are getting good, aren't they? Hey? So let's just put that out of the way. Get these out of the oven again. Don't tell me that Christina's still by the pool watching, is she? Is there any comments, Laura, about that?
Ella's online. She says, hello, everyone.
Oh, hello, Ella. Anybody who's wondering who Ella is, Ella's my granddaughter from Australia. Well, she's not from Australia, she's from the UK. But she's in Australia, that's where she lives, God bless her. And you'll all get to meet her. She's home in March, at the end of March. So I'm no doubt I'll have her on here just to show you. So let's, so hi Ella darling. Right, so the chocolate cake, there you go. Which camera, Laura? So there you go, yeah? Nice, deep, rich chocolate cakes. They smell gorgeous. So you can, so there you go. And we'll take those out of the tin. We'll give them a couple of minutes to cool down and we'll take those out of the tin. So Laura, be very careful you don't burn yourself now. Just put those here. Yeah. Getting those there. Careful. Just dug half my pink one out, don't worry. So we're going back to this one. And then to keep this just as a Victoria sponge, what you could do is if you wanted to, is just, let me get this, and a spoon. Can I have another spoon, Maria? I always promise I'm not going to make a mess. I start off saying I'm not going to make a mess and I always end up in a full mess. So I'll get rid of all that. So don't worry, Maria. So we're just going to put 1 spoon of the strawberry milkshake. The gardener's here now. There we go. And that's our Victoria sponge, yeah? That's our Victoria sponge. We got it? Was we on the right camera, Laura?
Yep.
So do we like that? That's a simple Victoria sponge. So that was Monday's session finish. That's making the sponge with the flavoured icing sugar. And on this particular one, we use strawberry milkshake. Lots of people use the salted caramel, or they use other flavours. Be careful with that, you might cut yourself. Just pass us that scraper while you're talking about it. So the salted caramel, they'll use, what flavours have you used? Black cherry's really nice. What are they saying, Laura?
Lots of people saying looks lovely. They're going to start baking again.
Good,
got
that's what we want, that's
from
what
you.
it's all about. So that there, and everybody loves a Victoria sliced sponge, just with a nice cup of tea, yeah? So what we're going to do is we're not going to leave it as a Victoria sponge, okay? We're going to change it now. So let me just get rid of some bits of stuff. So on Monday, I use this scraper, okay? Not very well, admittedly. Everybody who knows me knows that I can't really crumb coat a cake. I can with a bit of time, but when we go live, you've got to remember I throw in a lot of stuff live for 2 hours, and if you try to do everything I do in 2 hours, you think, you know what, I don't know how that girl actually does it. So those people who watch sometimes and thinks, you know, crikey, that's a bit of a mess. I don't think there's anything disastrous, but it's not perfect. Do bear in mind that we try and do everything in 2 hours. So I just wanted to tell you about this 4-sided scraper. It is on our website. It's $5.99. It's fantastic. It's very, very sharp. It's under Bacon Accessories and it's on the Nifty Nozzles page as well. So it's very, very sharp. If you get this, you must keep this out of the way of the children, okay? And you must think about it. Don't throw it in. Somebody last year threw it in the sink here in the kitchen and completely forgot it was in the sink, and well, you can imagine what their finger was like when they grabbed hold of it. Now thankfully it wasn't a hospital job, but it, you know, it was a bit of a dumb thing for them to do, so wasn't me. But just be careful. So when you want to wash this, keep it on the side of the drainer, wash it by hand, hold it and wash it, okay? And I'll tell you what I do to dry it. My baking tray, okay, the baking tray that you use, I just stand it in the baking tray so it stands up like that, and I haven't got a spare baking tray at the moment. Just pass us that, Laura, if you can. I'll try and do it this with the 2 cakes on. So if Laura can hold it there, can you see on the camera?
Yeah.
So what I do is I will sit it in the baking tray to hold and leave it to dry like that, and then I pack it away and I wrap it in bubble wrap or anything you want to wrap it in, and I put it in a drawer, in one of my baking drawers, flat, so I know that that's where it is. Don't stick it up like that or just throw it in any drawer. So I just wanted to make sure that you all knew that if you did buy this, which is fantastic at $5.99, I can't remember, you know, it is sharp. So let's get that lot out of the way. Let's get that out of the way. Now, what we're going to do now, we're going to make some red buttercream, okay? Because it's Valentine's, we're going to make this into a Valentine's cake. So, making red buttercream is really very difficult, and it takes a long time to make it red, and it doesn't matter which red colouring you get, it's hard. You'll never get white buttercream to red straight away. So, that red that we were using there before was the Queen of Hearts couture cakes buttercream recipe, and Laura today was adding the pillar box red. Was it, Laura?
Yes.
Where's it gone? You had it? Here it is. Sorry, we got it. So we're using this one, and the red that we got, do you want to pass it me? Oh, it's in the bowl over there. So we've got a really mucky bowl now because I was using it. The red that we got, so I'll just mix this in. The red that we got was the red here. Now that was as red as we could get it, and that matured. So that may mature more and more over the day. But sometimes when you want to make your red, you need it to be a bit quicker than that. So, do you remember I used a load of colours on Monday and I saved them? So if you give me that there, Laura. So I saved them. So I put in there all the colours, okay? So I've got pinks in there, reds in there, darker pink, white. Okay, it would be great if we added some other colours to it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to show you. You put your buttercream together. Doesn't matter if you've saved it, okay? You put it together, and then we're going to mix it in the bowl, and we're going to add a bit of green and a bit of brown, and then we're going to add red, and we'll get the red a lot faster because that's what we want today. So can I have another beater, please? The cake's looking lopsided. Beautiful, it's looking lopsided. Which camera are we on? I don't know.
The main one.
The main one. Can you see?
No.
Turn it round. Use the box. Have you used the lid? Yeah, that's it.
Now you.
So it's looking a bit lopsided, but anyhow, there he is. Right. So I'm just waiting for Laura to do me a new paddle. And then the nozzles we're going to use today, we're going to use the Wilton nozzles. The one that I've got here is the Ruby that we're going to use. We're also going to use the Sundancer cup. We're going to use the 1M Wilton, and we're going to use the leaf tip as well. Yeah. So Oh, you tried it. I'm trying it again. So I'm just going to put those mixes together now. So sorry guys, you're going to have to go through, and I'm going to add in this Queen of Couture red because it's already got a load of red in as well. So let's add all that in. Let's add in. So basically what I'm telling you to do is whatever buttercream you've got, let's mix it all in. Yeah? This is really soft, but it'll help me doing less thick mixing really. So we'll get that on in the mixer. I'm going to try and make a really deep red. Any questions, Laura?
And someone just said if you add a small amount of darker colour, like a tiny bit of black, it will make the red deeper.
That's what I'm going to do.
And everyone's saying it looks fantastic, the cake looks beautiful. Lots of people watching.
I'm going to ruin my diet afterwards and I'm having a slice. Right, so the lady who just said that is exactly what it is, okay? And this is why I say save your buttercreams. Don't, when you're going to, if you're going to use them on somebody's cake that you're selling a cake to, then you know what, make all your colours first that you're decorating, and then when it comes to your red, you know, use all the odd bits for the red. And for Valentine's Day, it's a bit harder because that's mainly the colour you want, but you will have other colours. If you're going to start from white, then I would start adding colours to it, your darker colours. And that lady's absolutely right. Add a bit of black, add a bit of forest green. A lot of people do add cocoa powder. I don't add cocoa powder, basically because I don't want the cocoa powder taste. You only add a bit, but I don't even want to taste it in my buttercream, unless it's a chocolate cocoa powder. Yeah? Chocolate cocoa powder buttercream, like Jaffa Twist or milkshake or something. So what we're going to do is we're going to get the forest green, add a bit of that, and then I'm going to get the Christmas red. We'll get the Christmas red, and we'll add a bit of black as well, just to be sure. So we'll add a bit of forest green. Do a nice squirt of that in. There you go. And add a bit of black in. Sorry, I opened a black in the kitchen. Let me go and get it. I think it's on the dining room table. It's taken back. Oh, it's here. Here. Sorry guys, got it. Just didn't want to open another black one. So we'll give that a squirt. Put the clean one away. Let's get the mixer in. So Laura, any newbies joined us?
And people Afrin joined us from India.
Oh, are they? Oh, hello.
Yeah. So we've got a few
Who's that from India?
Afrin.
Oh, hello Afrin.
So we've got a few people from Australia.
Good.
And Shelley Wilkinson just said if you can pop the chocolate cake in the next order, it would be much appreciated. And Vanessa's just asking, is there a particular container that you store your buttercream in overnight?
I always store I do have Rubbermaid containers, which is it's very much the same quality as Tupperware. So I like to store in those. But in fairness, from the supermarkets to do, is it called Stimtex? What's that container called? You bring them to work as well, Laura. Get that pink one out of there, Maria.
Is it System? Or
System, is it?
I think so.
In the drawer, there's a pink container. Yeah. Now these, so these, you can get these from any of the supermarkets. This one's a breakfast bowl. Systema, is that how you would say it? Systema? I don't know. But this brand is very good. And those click ones that you click on the side are really very good. So, yeah. So, let me just mix this in. And then we're going to start adding the red. Let's show you where we are so far. Because we've added the black, we're now getting this like grey colour, and you might start thinking, oh my god, it's all going horribly wrong. But don't worry, we're going to pull it all together, I hope. Go on, Laura.
We've got Melissa watching from Oklahoma.
Oh, well done. We get you all over the place. Feel free to join our group. I don't know if you've been with us the whole time, so any of you newbies who have just joined us, we do get lots of people who watch us who don't say anything, okay? I don't know whether they're shy or they're spies. We do know we get other cake suppliers watching us. And I do get a few of my friends watching as well, who don't ever say that they are. So we've got this funny grey colour at the moment, so don't panic, okay? That's what we want really, that murky grey colour. And I'm going to put this Christmas red in. Now before, Laura had put the pillow box red in, but because she was using a lot, she felt that it had gone grainy. And I'm a big fan of the gels, so she felt that the mixture was getting a bit grainy, so I'm not putting any more of that in. I think it's great for dusting and stuff, and maybe small amounts of colour. So I have put a nice big blob of this in. So I'm just going to have to go and wash my face, guys, a minute. 1 second. Do you okay wash your face? I'm going to wash my hands. I'm putting my hands sticky. Right, I'm coming back to you. Sorry, I did say I need to go and wash my face and then wash my hands, or if my face needed a wipe anyhow. So we need to put quite a bit of this red in. And I am on the end of the container, so I'll have to open up a new one. It does take a while to make red, and anybody who does make it will know it does take a while. That can go in a bit. We're getting there. So if no one wants to shout out some questions,
And no one has any questions, just everyone's saying where they're coming from. So I've got
that's
watching
good.
from South Africa.
I'm going to have to use this pillar box red. I've got no more frigging Christmas red here, have I? So you know what this means? Put any red you've got in the mix. Yeah, I'm getting there. We've got somebody from South Africa.
South Africa.
Oh, well done, hello. So Oklahoma, South Africa, Australia. Have we got anybody in the UK? Yes, we have.
Quite a few. We're alright.
And I'm having to put a lot of red in this as well. I want it really dark red if we can. Don't know how long it's going to take us to get there. So the reason I wanted to show you this is because this is everybody's nightmare. And with Valentine's Day coming, and there's nothing worse than you watch these professionals. What's up, look, Maria?
He's coming out with one.
Got off like that?
Yeah, you're still on it.
Right, okay then. So Maria's face just changed colour then, but we've lost the top camera. I think probably the battery has gone. Has the battery has gone? I put a lot of red in this, girls. A lot of red.
There is more red in the side.
I know.
Yes, in that side.
So I have put a lot of red in this, but this is actually a massive batch as well, because I've got some things that we have to do with it later. So do bear in mind the less of a mix that you need to make. Yeah. And the other thing I'm getting seriously concerned about is that this isn't too soft for my nifty nozzles. I might just have to go into a meltdown shortly because this is looking very, very soft. And that's the thing with colouring, when you're adding colouring. And you also have to wait for this to mature. So I think in a minute we might just have to take this as it is. Now in here I've actually got a kilo of buttercream. Okay, so a kilo, when I say a kilo of buttercream, that's 500 grams of butter, okay, and 1 kilo of icing sugar. So this is a big batch that I'm trying to colour here, which was probably a bit dumb of me to do that live, to try and get that red live. So while that's maturing, I'm just going to pop it in the fridge a bit for a minute, because it's just a bit too soft while I make some green. So do you want to just pop that in the fridge for me, Maria? Okay, so that just shows you how hard it is. I've used half a pot on there. There was half a pot left and I've used half a pot to get that red, and that is the problem. And I've added a bit of black and a bit of forest green as well to help it. And this is why I say to you guys, you know, save your buttercream, all the same flavour, save your buttercream and put it all together. It takes ages. So let me just have a clean up, make some green. I don't know what I've done today, it's all over everything this. Right, there you go. There you go, that's in the wash. Another cloth we've got. Right, so bowls. Get rid of that one. Get rid of this one, we're back here. So I just need to make some green for my leaves. We're going to have to do this as well, the dark green. I will put all this in. So what we've done is, guys, we've just put the butter back in the fridge just to firm it up for a few minutes. Now, if my freezer was big enough, I'd probably stick it in there. So I'm going to just use this dark green, the forest green, just for the leaves. And the nozzles we're going to use is the 1M Wilton, the Ruby, which is the 111, and the Sun Dancer cup, all with the same colours. And I need a palette knife, please, girls. Another one. Oh, whack. You'll have to use the cloth, right, girls? I really do need it. Can you just wipe it with the cloth? Thanks. Super. They're working hard. Right, so while we're doing this now, let's answer some questions.
So Melissa's watching from America, and she just say that the AmeriColour food colourings is good.
Yeah.
But Shelley Walkington is saying that the colour splash gels are actually just as an intense colour.
Yeah.
So obviously, like you said, Carol, there's just a knack to getting that darker colour.
Yeah. I do believe that the American food colours are good, but I don't know anybody who stocks those here, okay? I have tried Wilton, exactly the same. I have tried Sugar Flare, exactly the same, okay, gels, and the Colour Splash, and I find that they're all the same. The colour does mature. I did a red cake, and I've done lots of red cakes. I did a red cake, and it was a pale red, and then the next morning it was dark red. It really matured overnight. Do any of you all have that same experience? But the bigger problem is trying to get red from white. I'll get there in a minute. So I've got another thing here, buttercream there, which I'm going to have a go at, because the other thing is, I did put the Queen of Couture's buttercream in, which is quite soft, and this is my own. So, have we got another spatula? Oh yeah, I can use this one. It's okay. So thankfully, I have got another there.
So, why are you making a chocolate cake?
Why am I what?
Are you baking a chocolate cake?
Why am I baking the chocolate cake? Oh right, the reason why we're baking the chocolate cake today as well is because it's chocolate day on Saturday, and you know Maria likes to know her days, so if you all want to get your chocolate cakes in, it's National Chocolate Day on Saturday. That's your chocolate cake. So this ruby, see what this looks like. Got red all over my hands, look at that. And if this doesn't come red, I'm going to go into a personal meltdown. You might see it all go so horribly wrong very shortly. Any other questions, Maria? Laura?
I know just people agreeing that if they're colouring fond of the dark colours, they're doing it a few days in advance to allow for it to mature.
Yeah, maybe that's what I should have done. Maybe I should have done this now and then showed you on Monday. But I think we're using a lot of red in here. Even the lady who uses the America colour, how much does she put in of that? Because I've done the Squire's Kitchen, I've done the Colour Splash, I've done the Wilton colours, and I've done the powder colours as well from Colour Splash. This is going a nice ruby red, which is what it says it's called, ruby. Now this is a 500 gram mix. This is 250 grams of butter with 500 grams of icing sugar. Now this is going a nice red. This is going a nice ruby red. But again, I think this still needs to mature. I don't think there's much difference between this one and the other one, do you? No.
I can't bring the other one.
No, I want it to stay in the fridge long. We might not get no Russian flowers out of it. Is that soft now? So there are people with the Russian flower tips, okay, when you do have problems with it, your buttercream needs to be a medium consistency. It mustn't be firm and it mustn't be soft, okay? Now, some of you have been on my classes. By the way, I've got classes up for March again. So those are the first classes. A couple of people booked on already. They're £99 for the class. They're a whole day on a Saturday. So anybody wants to book on those, you go home with plenty of cupcakes, plenty of knowledge. The ladies who've been to my classes in the summer, they've had to deal with the problem of the heat wave. You know that heat wave that we had in the summer? So then they have to deal with it, which is a good thing as well. It makes me go into a meltdown, but you've experienced that, haven't you, Laura? Yeah. Laura's on a class in the summer and we were all melting in here. And it's how to deal with it when your buttercream is going really soft without having a breakdown. There you go.
I've got someone asking, Carol, if you use a lot of the colouring, either gel or dust, does it affect the flavour?
I'm just going to tell you in a minute. Well, I'm not, because I'm not tasting it. But you know what these two are? So my two tasters here. So I think this is... do you want to just taste it? So I think we need to get on with decorating it. And then what I'll do is I'll show you a picture tonight when it's matured. Yeah, salted caramel.
Yeah. Well, you can still taste salted caramel, so there you go.
Yeah, that's good, isn't it? Yeah, so you knew what it was. Have you tasted it? Yeah. Yeah, you can smell it. I knew what it was.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Have you never tasted salted caramel?
Yes.
Yeah?
Can I eat all of these?
Of course you can eat all of it. Just don't let me eat any. Right, okay then. So, the one in the fridge, Laura, Maria, stop eating the buttercream, will you? And just get the one out of the fridge. Do as you're told. She doesn't know what she's doing there. She's licking buttercream, she's licking the bowl, and she's eating what's it called? Marshmallow. So can you pass that here? So there's not much difference between these two colours, I don't think. Is there? Which one are we on? Yeah, there's not much difference, is there?
That one's a little bit darker. That's it.
Okay then. I'm going to use this one because it feels a bit firmer.
Should I put the other in the fridge?
Just put it back in the fridge in a minute. Because I am going to use it because I want two different colours of red, so as it happens it's worked out, just to show. I've got the reddest hands. John's going to be wondering what we're doing. He's gone to renew his passport, by the way, so he can stay in the country. Of course he can. He's a Brit. So we're going to fill up the Sundancer cup now. So he had to go there and he wasn't thinking when he came to renew it which day it was, and you know what it's like trying to get an appointment at the passport office, so he didn't want to change it. Anyway, I think us girls are doing okay, aren't we? Yeah? Are we doing alright? What do you think of my little team today? So Laura, you keep the questions going.
Lots of likes, lots of people tuning in.
Yeah, good, that's what we want. So we've got the Sundancer cup. I need to make a Wilton one end. We'll go through the rose swirl again. So all we're doing now, so we're going to change our classic, well, our simple Victoria sponge into a cake for Valentine's Day. Yeah. Right, Maria, can I have that red one, please? Open the fridge.
Kathy Dan says you're doing a fab job.
Oh, thanks, Kathy. I might just have to put this, I'm just going to have to squirt one out first because I'm having a nervous breakdown over this one already. I can feel it. My back's getting better because my nerves are going. So, oh actually.
It's going well.
Actually. I was saved, it's not too hard. Right, there we go. I don't need that. And then I need another leaf tip, which is here. So we're using the 352, we need a little leaf on. And then we're going to decorate this up. So learn a lesson, girls, don't make a huge amount of buttercream. It's a bit of a dumb thing to do. I don't know what I'm going to do with all this red now, I have to think of something. So.
Karen Jones says you're doing a grand job and it's nice to see that you have the same problems all hobby bakers have with dark colours.
I know, that's why I'm going live. It's why I wanted to do it live, because let me tell you, you know, I was probably quite brave to do it live. This is the forest green as well. You can make this darker, but you'll have the same problem as well. You have to wait for it to mature. So it's why I wanted to do it live, because you get so many people asking, and I'm such a fan of the Colour Splash range, but I have to be honest, to get a real red, I know that I have to use nearly a good half to a full tube of it to get it to red. What I didn't realise is that I'd run out of colour, that I only had a bit, so so I can't even tell you what this red is in here now, because we've chucked in 2 lots of colours. So let's just have a clear up now, so that if anybody's watching, they won't realise how scruffy I've been. I always say every week I'm going to try and be organised and tidy, but it looks like it's not happening. So let's get our Victoria sponge over here now. So let's just change it over into a Valentine's cake, a really simple, easy Valentine's cake. So I'm just going to put some of this buttercream into a bag with no nozzle. Now I'm not going to crumb coat the sides, as I don't want to take away from the sponge. And this would make a great Mother's Day cake as well. It doesn't have to be a Valentine's cake, because in fairness, Valentine's Day, I think it's great for the guys to buy the girls something. I'm not really interested in buying the guys anything, so no disrespect. The guys should be telling us how much they love us and what wonderful women we are, considering we look after them, baby them, do everything for them, washing, laundry and anything else that we have to do for them. Can't moan about John, at least he cooks. So, which camera are we on? Are we on here?
It can be, yeah.
Yeah. So this has got no nozzle in, okay? So I am just going to do a crescent of buttercream all the way round. Yeah, this is just to give it some lift. So that's all we're going to do. Crescent of buttercream all the way round. Doesn't have to be neat. Yeah. Whoops-a-daisy. And we're just going to put a couple of extra blobs in. It's a good way of getting rid of all this buttercream. It is going darker, this, as I'm speaking. So maybe by the end of this session. So it doesn't have to be neat, this, girls, okay? Now I've put this straight onto buttercream, onto icing sugar, okay? So you'll notice that it did lift up, but it will settle. So we're using a selection of nozzles. You can use any ones that you want. I've got 2 Sun Dancers in the range. There's a Sun Dancer and a Sun Dancer cup. And we're using the Sun Dancer cup today, okay? So can you see all right there, Laura? So, right, Maria, where do you want to go? Why don't you go over there? Move that cake. Yeah, right, move the cake, move the marshmallow you're stuffing. She's eating everything, Ian. Look at her, she's always skinny. So, can you get in there? Right, so we are onto the crescent, squeeze up, relax and off. Squeeze up, relax and off. Squeeze up, relax and off. I know I do a bit fast. Squeeze up, relax and off. You're in everybody's way, Maria. It's okay. Yeah, squeeze up, relax and off. Just going to do some on the inside. Squeeze up, relax and off. Up. So again, this would make a nice, like I say, Mother's Day's in March this year. So you could make this for a Mother's Day present, gift. rather than a Valentine's Day cake. So are my followers Elaine Lawton here and Martin Dursley today?
Elaine's here.
Oh, hello, Elaine.
I've not seen any comments from Martin yet.
Right. I messaged Elaine the other day because she does follow us every week, and I had a conversation with her via Messenger on Sunday, and she said, oh, I'll see you on Monday, and then she didn't appear on Monday, so I was worried about her. She's gone for a game of bingo. Wish I had. Hey? So we're just going to put a different red in here for this rose. So I said to her, lucky her. I love bingo. Do you lot love bingo? John used to come with me when I first met him. You know when they do boyfriends in pressure? That was 15 years ago. I asked him to go for a game of bingo now. I think he'd go into meltdown.
Lots of likes, Carol, on hearts.
Is there?
Yes.
So, to be fair, this buttercream is very soft, too soft to how I would like it. So all we're going to do is randomly put those in there. Now, I did get the Wilton 1M out. So we're just going to do some little swirls. Yeah. Some little rose swirls. Can you see it okay?
Yeah.
So, oh, no, don't worry. You break it, don't worry. So, alright, I think we might have enough there. Let's get this one. Just a couple on there. Now the leaves pull it together. I do see a lot of you do make these cakes and you don't put leaves on. Please try and put some leaves on because it really does sort of pull the cake together. And you'll see that when I'm putting the roses on, they're not all facing the same way. They're all over the place, and that's how they really look nice. Just mix and match. Do you know what? I'm actually quite liking these two reds now. What do you think?
They're lovely together.
And I wouldn't have thought of putting two reds together. That's what happens when you do a cock-up on live. So, a muck-up on live. And then you're like, oh my God, what am I going to do with all this buttercream? So you know what, this is a good thing. You can see it, you don't need to panic. So here we go. So then we're going to finish it off. I'm just going to sit down because my back is broken. And I am suffering really well with the pain, but I need to sit down for this one and take my glasses. So I'm just going to put some leaves in because it will pull it together. So, and you can use whatever colour you want. So sometimes, Laura, you're going to have to go to the top camera. Oh, the top camera's gone, isn't it? We've lost it.
But we've got a really good view for where you are at the moment, Carol.
So I am trying to do this at a funny angle. I wish I was sat where Maria was for the camera so that you could see it. I'm going to try. So that green lifts it a bit. Yeah, just takes it away. So all we've done now is changed a simple Victoria sponge to what I think is a great, I know I'm bigging myself up now, I'm getting cocky, to a great Valentine's Day or Mother's Day cake. And these are all done with the genuine nifty nozzles. I've got a lady on from Australia who supports us very well, and in fairness, I've got a few customers from Australia and America who do support us. We are patent pending in America. The thing is, trying to get your patent in America can take 18 months to 2 years, so it can take a long time. And in Australia, they do only sell copies in Australia, and unfortunately I just didn't buy the patents, and the Americans are well aware of that. So you all have Chinese copies, and I'm not saying that they don't work, but the thing is, let me just ask you something. You're all cake makers out there. If somebody stole a picture of your cake and put it on their page and passed it off as their own, would you go mad? And if you'd invested thousands in producing a design, put your house on remortgage, okay, put your life on the line, which is where Alexandra and I have done, okay, to raise money, to pay for patents, to fight legal bills and battles, to protect our designs, would you be upset if you was that person? And I'm sure you would. And that's why I'm always on at you about buying copies. You know, think about the people who's invested in bringing this initial design to you. So that's my little harp on, and I've done that because Louisa is supporting us very, very strong in Australia, and she's against copies, and she's on a forum at the moment telling them about it, and I just need to support them as well. The other thing is, when you're buying Chinese, you can buy good Chinese and you can buy rubbish Chinese as well. So, but here, we only sell the genuine nifty nozzles, okay? So, that's me going on with myself. Look at my hands now. Which camera am I on? I'm here, black. Have I got any on my face? I feel as if I've got buttercream all over my face. So what do we think?
Beautiful, spectacular, very pretty.
Spectacular?
Yes.
Oh, spectacular, I can't believe it. So do you want to put it onto this camera here so they get a close up? So there you go. So there we go. What we've done there is we've actually changed that now from a simple Victoria sponge. And you know what? It doesn't have to be a Mother's Day cake. It doesn't have to be a Valentine's cake. It can be a cake just for any celebration. You know what? Jazz up your Victoria sponge. And that was all very, very easy. And that was with me having a meltdown with soft buttercream, because this buttercream is too soft, if I'm honest. But you know what? We've managed it. So, are we back? We're back over here. So I think I've done everything that I need to do today, okay? Oh, I need to take those sponges out 1 second. So let's just take those sponges out that we baked. They're too hot for me to do anything with, but I am going to layer them with the white sponge, okay? So I am going to layer them with the white sponge. So there you go. They're lovely then. Let's take those off. So there's your chocolate sponge. Very simple chocolate sponge, okay? And like I say, you guys, if any of you are hobby bakers, don't know how to bake a cake, do it this way and you will make a beautiful soft sponge. If you are a cake baker already, or you're using your own grandma's favourite sponge recipe and you're very happy with it, stick with it. That's what you know, that's all I'm doing. Stick with it and use that one. But I will tell you, this is lovely. Okay, it's soft, it's lovely. Smells of orange. This kitchen smells amazing. We've got strawberries, we've got strawberry milkshake in there with salted caramel buttercream on top, which is so bad, okay, with a dusting of strawberry milkshake, but it will taste amazing. This chocolate orange, God, it's good. You've got to buy this cocoa powder. I'm not just saying it, you really have got to buy this cocoa powder. Oh, and I wouldn't be happy if I didn't put a bit of bling on my cake. Let's see if it shows up more. So, we've got two lots of bling. So, we've got the edible bling. We've got the edible bling and the non-edible bling. I prefer the non-edible. Doesn't mean it's going to kill you, okay? It's non-toxic, it's for your cakes. It does say if you want to pick it off your cake decorations. If you've got time to pick all those little sprinkles off, then get on and pick them off. Okay, that's my favourite one, and it's called Hologram White. It's on the website. This will only cause you any problems if you eat tubs and tubs and tubs of this neat, okay? And believe me, you will have a proper shiny bling #2 if you eat loads of them. If you only eat the bit that you're going to put on the decoration on here, I'm going to put it on in a minute, you'd be lucky if your #2 sparkles. It's just not digestible, but this one is the edible stuff. This is magic sparkles, and you'll see the flakes are bigger. Now somebody did say the other day, if you wanted them smaller, you could just grind them down, which is a good idea because you'll see that these flakes are bigger. So let's put a bit of this bling on. Yeah, now I don't know how well you can see this bling now, so I'm going to do half with magic sparkles. Yeah. And we've got it in 3 colours as well. We've got it in white, pink and red. And then I'm going to do the other side. It does sparkle. Can you see that sparkle?
As you've moved it, it's catching the light.
Can you see it? Yeah. Yeah. And then we'll do this side with my favourite bling stuff. Does that bling more? Can you see that on the camera? And you only need a bit, you only need a pinch, yeah? Okay. And while we're talking about that, I need to talk to you about something else quickly. See these tiny little tubs? You can buy these with colouring in, and we sell the colouring, the rainbow dust colours, but they're full to the top, okay? So when you dip your brush in, it overspills over the side and stuff. So I get a lot of ladies, and I'll just explain it to you. Let me just get a tub. I'll just get 3 tubs together. So this is a perfect example. So I get a lot of ladies who will buy the Colour Splash range and then message me to say, that the tubs are not full. So let me just tell you, there's 5 grams of colouring in each tub. Now look at these 3 colours of the different densities, yeah? So when you get them, can you see those? Yeah. Can they show up? When you buy these, the tubs are not full. It's got 5 grams of colour in, but obviously density is different, isn't it? So one might be lighter and fluffier than the other, and it'll show that it's got more, and some is thicker, okay? The reason they put them in these deep tubs is so that you can stick your brush in, okay, without it pouring over the sides, or you can paint it if you want to. So, I think that's me done. What time is it? How long have we been going now? Ooh,
5 to 1.
5 to 1. So 11, 12. Oh, not quite 2 hours. Great. Well done. We're finished. John will be amazed. I am as well. So I hope you like everything I've shown you today. You know, I hope you've enjoyed everything. If anybody's got any last minute comments, Laura needs to shout out.
Absolutely beautiful. Love bling. Get your sparkle on, says Louisa Johnston.
Yeah. Thanks, Louisa. That's a lovely lady from Australia who's supporting us very well. So I hope I'm going to see some of these cakes. It's all about easy cake decorating, easy baking, and like I say, please share on the page. Can you share this session today? Please share it with all your friends. I don't know how many people we've got watching currently at the moment.
Over 200.
Right, there's over 200, but there's been up to 300 today. So I'd really like you all to share. Now, generally when I ask you to share, I probably get about 1/4 of you sharing, okay? You've only got to press that share button. You can press it so it shares straight away. You're only sharing with your friends, okay? So that you're sharing with friends, or you can actually press it so that you can write a comment as well. Please share, help spread up the word. I'm giving up my time for free. I'm showing you things for free. You know, you go to other websites and buy them. Not all of you come to me to buy them, albeit I really wish you would support our company, and I know lots of you do. But, you know, please share. Help me get my Facebook Lives out there. Go over to Google, follow us on YouTube. Press subscribe, it's completely free, and give us a thumbs up for this video, and it will be on YouTube. It'll be on this afternoon, sometime this afternoon. And Maria, did you want me to say anything?
Baking Heaven Awards.
Oh, the Baking Heaven Awards as well. Don't forget, if you haven't voted for us, please vote for us. There's loads of nominations. When you go through to the link, it will tell you everyone from that category. And hopefully, in the categories that we're in, you'll vote for us. But you know what? There may well be another company that you want to vote for. Close your eyes. But we really want to prove that we can win those categories. So please, I know lots of you have done it already, but there's lots of you that haven't. We can only win on voting, okay? I'm washing my hands here because I'm trying to get this red off. It's everywhere. So Monday night, we're going to be here, 8 o'clock live with Holly Gregory. Make sure you're here. She's a fantastic lady. She's going to show you how to make a drip cake. She'll be using ganache, okay? I'm not sure, she does nice big tall ones, so I don't know whether she does 4 layers or 6 layers, I'm not quite sure, and I'm not sure which drip cake she's going to make, but she'll be here on Monday. Make sure you're here to support her. And on Monday I've got some new bundles on the website. They're called Petals and Stamens. They're in 3s and 12s, okay? So if you want to get those in, once they've gone, I'm not stocking them. They are our designs, but we're not doing them anymore because not a lot of people use them. They prefer to use the flowers. But I'm going to show you how to make some nice big flowers for your cupcakes for those on Monday. So it will be Holly Gregory. She is the main event, but when in between things that she's doing, I'm going to pop in and do a quick flower. So no buttercream demos, no nothing. It'll all be made in the bags. Yeah. this is how you can make that flour. So pop over to our website, sugarandcrumbs.co.uk, go down to brand, Nifty Nozzles, you'll see all the deals that we've got on there today. Anything else you want, just pop in the search button on the top of our website, magic sparkles, sprinkles, glitters, and it should bring it up. If not, send me a message on Facebook and I'll help you locate it. So that's a bye-bye for me, a bye-bye from Maria, bye Maria, bye-bye from Laura,
Bye.
and we'll see you on Monday. Bye. Hi everyone, you may well be surprised. This is not going to happen every week, believe me. But we were cleaning up the kitchen and then I realised I've taken 2 sponges out of the cake, out of the freezer. I've got 2 chocolate sponges and I've got a whole load of buttercream, and what am I going to do with it? It's either throw it in the bin or I put it together and make a cake. And then I thought, you know what, if I'm going to put it together as a cake, let's get you guys together, show you how I'm going to, a different idea from this one, okay? Put it all together, and at least then when we do the YouTube channel, it'll all go together as one. So if you're joining me now, great. If you're joining me and haven't seen this morning's session, you can go back and watch that. It's pinned to the top of the page. Or if you wait till tonight, the whole lot will be on YouTube. So either way. So basically, this is going to take me 15 minutes to put this together, and it has to be because I've got a nail appointment to go to with my broken back. So I've just put my first sponge on the cake, okay, and I've put it to the drum. I'm recycling a drum, but because it had a few marks, I've actually left the layered paper on there. So I've just put a little bit of buttercream in the middle. I'm using the mini Viennetta to go round. So I'm just going to put that on. This is great just if you want to do this on top of the cake. Yeah. So we're just going to do this. And we're going to put a chocolate layer now. Now, chocolate layer, I've already taken the paper off. Just going to put the chocolate layer on. This is what we made fresh earlier. We're going to put some jam on. So get some jam on. So, Laura, is anyone joining us again?
Yes.
Still about?
Yeah, a lot of people saying, what a nice surprise. Kat Riley says, what a sneaky video.
Oh, Kat. The thing is, we were all washing up. If you look in the kitchen, I don't know whether if Laura gives a little swirl around the kitchen, we're all cleaned up and done. And we just thought, what are we going to do with this cake? And I'm on a diet and I cannot have any cake in. I've got the photographer coming in tomorrow, and I thought, you know, he can, you know what? So I thought we'd throw it together, or let's go live again, and we'll either get a few of you again or we won't. So, but at least I can add it on to the same session on the YouTube. So we're just going to put this one on the top, so that's our jam layer. Okay, and I think it'll look quite nice actually using the pink sponge and the chocolate one. So we're just going to put, I'm not sure if I'm going to have enough buttercream for this one. So I'm just going to put a different colour on here now. Okay. So just quickly run around with that one. Just quickly. And I also wanted to show you how all the red had darkened up. And we were like, when we finished, we thought, oh crikey, it's darkened up already. So we're just going to quickly push that on. So I don't know what we're going to call this, a multicoloured cake. But then I thought, you know, I've got another little idea on how you can decorate your cakes. So I'm going to put the chocolate on here. Super. It's all the same principle, really. So I think that'll look really nice, especially when we cut into it. Yeah. I'm going to use the crescent again. So what we're going to do is, we're going to do a half crescent. Yeah. So just a half crescent. And we're going to bulbous it out there. Yeah. Some there. Some here, a bit there, and a bit there. And I've just changed some of the nozzles. So what I thought is, let's go back in with the ruby again. So this is the 11111 ruby rose. So we just always use the same nozzle for a little while you're going round, because if you try and use different ones, you know, you end up making a little bit of a mess. So let's just, so we've used that rose there, and then I've put one of the mini nozzles. Now the mini nozzles, they come in a set of 9. Oh. So which camera are we on? So they come in a set of 9. They're great. If you haven't got these, you need to get a set. So they're just smaller than them. Yeah. So mini, large, and extra large. You see the 3 dimensions? Yeah. So I'm going to use one of those. Those come in a set, and I think they're either $18.99 or $19.99. So I've just got one of them here, and I've added a bit of white to it, just to make it a little bit different. So. Oh, sorry, got a blob there. My buttercream is really soft. I feel as though I'm holding my breath. Are you lot holding your breath? I am. So Laura, should we be saying hello to anyone again?
Yes, so we've got Joe Chaplin, Jackie Richards, Sean Forward Martin, Phil Thorne, Amy Jo Waters, Jerry Mullen Barnes.
Oh, Jerry, my friend.
There's lots of people saying this is a nice surprise.
Oh, right. I thought you'd be all going, oh God, she's back. She's back, that woman. So let's just go around here now. So all we're doing is just doing a different take. And then let's get our 1M and start swirling. So we're going to start swirling there. I'm just going to do this. So let me just see. You'll be able to see it here more. So we're just going to start swirling there. And we'll do, yeah. And I'm just going to do some little ones like that. Just do some little infills there. I'll do a nice big one here, so we're going to start it there. And then I'm running out of buttercream, so I can do another one there. So I'm just, it's a bit hard to try and do this when you can't see it. I think I got, did I catch it? Oh, got it way around. Don't worry. Ooh, we've got a bit of a mucky bit there. Got a bit of a mucky bit there, sorry. That's what happens when you're doing it. I may as well be blindfolded trying to do that one. And then let's try and get a bit more of this leaf one, this little flower one in some little places. It's just to give you a different idea, that's all it was, and to use up this cake as well. So I hope you like it. My buttercream is a bit soft as well. So, and then we're going to put the leaves on, and we're using forest green for the leaves. Okay, let me get that lot out of the way. Get that out of the way. Clean my cloth. See what we've done? We went live at 2 o'clock and it's 7 minutes past. And we put the four layers together. Okay, now admittedly I have had the buttercream pre-mixed, but this helps you if you are doing a load of batch cakes together, at least you know you can. So we're just going to put in some leaves. You'll notice that I haven't put any berries on today. Normally I like to add my berries. Right, I need a rose here. I'm missing a rose there, so just 1 second. I've got a gap, I saw it there. There it is. So let's do a nice rose there. Where's that? Where's that? And then we'll put the leaves on. And I hope you like what you're seeing. You're not saying nothing, Laura, they're not speaking?
I think everyone's engrossed.
Are you engrossed, guys? Is it really that good? Or are you just thinking, my God? Give us some thumbs up, some likes, what you think?
Alison Haynes says she can't wait to join you on the Nifty Nozzles class in March.
Oh yes, Alison, yeah, she's the first one to book on. Yes, I meant to say so. Nifty Nozzle classes, I've got 2 classes in March, none in April because I'm actually having a holiday in April, hence why John had to go and get a passport today. And let me just see here. So Alison, we'll have to have a chat. We've got another lady on with you as well. There's still spaces available, £99 for the day. Right. So if anybody wants to join us, they're on the website. Just put classes in the search button. You'll find it. Hotel accommodations, very reasonable up here in the north. I'm actually only 10 to 15 minutes away from most Stockport hotels. I think that's it. I think that'll do, won't it? So let me just see. He's looking a little bit lopsided. Let's move him over a bit. Yeah. Let's put a leaf in here. So the reason is, like I say, we just come back and it was just like, what are we going to do with that sponge that we baked this morning? So this is a fresh sponge baked this morning. And we're just using it up really. Because I've got to stick to my diet. You know, you're not proud of me, guys. Hey, none of this buttercream has gone in my mouth. Right, okay, so there we go. Just a crescent shape, so it's, you know, and then this is the one that we did this morning. And I don't know what you can see there, Laura. What can you see?
Both of them perfect.
So that crescent one, and this is the one we did on Monday. So you can see. Now what I did after you left, I just put in some of these little sprinkles. So if you've got some hundreds and ones and thousands, you know, stick some of those on, they look nice. Anything you've got in your cupboard, you know, just throw them on. And then let's get my glitter out, because you know I like the bling. Let's bling it up a little bit. So let's bling it up a bit. Laura's in the way, Maria's away in the camera again. You love it, don't you, Maria?
Yes, I want to be famous.
So there we go. So there you go, guys. That's how quick it was that I'm back. Just to quickly show you what we've done. So that took us 11 minutes in total. So I hope you've enjoyed it. So that's a crescent cake there. So what I also wanted to say is, see how red this is deepening now. As time is going on, those 2 shades of red are really deepening. This is lighter because we added a lot more white to it in the mix. Basically, what I do is, when I finish piping, I save all my mixes, put it in a bowl, mixed it all together, and basically we've got this purple colour. Laura mixed it, she went, oh God, carrot's going purple. I said, you know what, let's rock and roll with that, let's get on with it, and do it. So I hope you do like it. Please, if you do make this, share it on our page. I'm hoping to see some cherry blossom cakes. Please have a go at this one, it's so easy. This is the crescent cake, have a go at that. You know, I mean, I'm just showing you, what did we do? It didn't take long to put the sponge together this morning. What was it? Measured out the ingredients, I think altogether 10 minutes, 35 minutes in the oven, let it cool, and from cooling, we went live at 2 o'clock, 7 minutes, we put it together and decorated it. What do we think?
Fantastic.
Do we like it?
Lots of likes and hearts.
Are we happy? Good?
Great cakes.
So we're going to stick this onto the end of the YouTube one, so don't worry, that won't be in 2 parts. And I will be back Monday. Is there anything I need to remember to tell these ladies and gents? Holly Gregory is with us on Monday. If you didn't join us before, fantastic. She's going to be doing a drip cake. They're beautiful. I don't know what I'll be doing next Thursday. It is in the calendar what I'm making, but Maria can't remember and I have no idea. And I could possibly change it. You never know. Okay, and I will be playing with Nifty Nozzles on Monday in between Holly doing her bit. I'll have a quick do with the Nifty Nozzles. So if you're looking to buy a great bundle deal, I put the petals and stamens together, and I think they're all at £2 a nozzle. So I put them in sets of 12s and 5s, I think. Don't forget the 2 ruffle nozzles. Pass us those ruffles off there. The 2 ruffle nozzles, which are Ruffles and Tutu, demoed them before. They're on offer, £5.99 for 2. I'm sure in that offer you get the wooden spoon as well. So, thanks for joining me. I will see you next Monday. Bye bye.